ILEG technology screen. Stands for Infusion Light Energy Gain. If people are asking what that meant, but that's what it stands for. This is the new gamer screen paint we've been working on, which is the ILEG Ultimate Apex Gamer Complete, and just coated it onto a manual pull-down projection screen. So this is, oops, wrong one. This is done, and right now I'm just getting it to dry up and go from there. All right, let me see something here. I could use your other pack. I need this one here. Yeah, over here. Sometimes I'm much easier to do it this way. Over here, there, back down here, room down here, so pretty easy to paint, fast application. You know, I'll be doing some other ones, but that's what I had to do for now. And also, too, we're going to be doing something different with our containers, especially the gallon ones. Gallon containers are definitely changing. We're locking and packaging for those. Definitely going to be getting those. Got some containers I want to get. They're self-locking, which I believe. And we have the back of these padded because we don't pad them. You'll get the imprints from the bars across the screen to open and close. That's I'm going to have to, next week, move just about everything to one side and give this place a good once-over. I got a vacuum cleaner coming through and vacuum this whole section out, everything vacuumed in here. But that's how smooth it goes on. And as for people been asking, can you paint? Yeah, if we're painting over cardboard boxes and all that stuff, you can paint over anything you want with it. We've done plexiglass. The surface over there are plexiglass. So we do one coat on those, one coat on these. And the reason why the cardboard done is because cardboard has print on it. That's why. And when you have products that are made like very thin, they don't applicate well to a surface. This is the reason why we use the cardboard with prints on it, so that you can cover that. If you can cover a printed box, you can cover a white wall with no problem. So that's why we like to use anything with a print attached to it, because it shows exactly how fast it just makes it disappear. This is one of the cardboard boxes we painted over. So that's one of the things we have to do in one of the tests. We have to paint over a surface with a lot of print on it. If we can coat over that one-time application and you're done with it, it's fantastic. If it shows through and we have to go back again, then it has to be fixed. And that's what happens when you have coatings that are made like thin, like skin-like coatings. They require multiple applications because the surface isn't covered correctly. It won't map it out. Well, actually, I'm going to take it out. Oh, man. I'll tell you, I have a busy day. I'm still going to be downstairs with this. Okay, let me see what we got going on here. What else we do? Then come soon, I gotta put 12 panel system on that wall over there. Get that ready, get that set up. Put in a halo system, light system, all that stuff has to be installed for that one over there. And then the other surface right there, I got several places I gotta walk in with that screen, with the projector, and do a demonstration in different environment. We're gonna be outside all winter long. That's where I'm gonna be at. All winter with the equipment out there in the snow. I want some demonstrations in this stuff. So this should be fun. All part of the process. Put that to dry. Roll it up, roll it down. Bring it up, bring it down. Bring it up, bring it down. Usual. What I'm looking for in the screen that's soaking in water over here, I'm looking for flakes. Any flakes, anything that comes up in the water, showing the screen's peeling, cracking, or anything. And no flakes in the water. The surface right there. Any bubbling, anything like that, that's what we're looking for. Because anything that pops out like that, that means there's going to be a problem. These screens have to be there all year round. So some people are going to have outside setups, and they want to make sure if they put a screen up there, this might not be a screen to take down every day. Maybe stationary. Stationary screens have to be out there all the time. So we have to make sure it works. So they have to soak for 1 month. And then I have one sitting in a freezer right now. I'll go back and check that one and see how much damage is taken in. Go from there, and then once all that's finished and completed, we're good to go. Cleanup is easy. I don't even use like mild soaps. I just use an old rag. That's basically about it. That's all it's needed. Somebody was saying if you're a careful painter, you wouldn't have to go through all that. You got to understand that all customers are going to be careful painters. Customers are going to make all kinds of mistakes. I make mistakes myself. I've dropped paint, spilled paint, did this, did that. And it's important that it comes up. I had paint on a floor that was embedded for 3 years on a floor. If you ever saw that video, it's actually on my YouTube account showing me cleaning an entire floor by hand. I was able to pull up all the paint after sitting there for 3 years. But somebody took out a pretty contents and said, oh, well, you would never have that problem if you know what you're doing. Even professional painters spill, trip over buckets, all kinds of stuff. Stuff happens. It's called accidents. It happens. As long as the process is easy to clean up, that's the good part about it. Not when it goes in the carpet. That's a whole nother story. That means you just have to cut out all the carpet and put it right back in again. But again, when you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to your own product, number one, if you have a product that's stating to be a very thin coating, it should have extremely good coverage. Which means you should be at a max size of 150-inch screen, 120-inch. The fact that a skin-like coating product that's very thin has only the coverage to coverage 120 inches, there's a red flag right there for you. The coverage on a screen that should be able to have a thin like coating should have much more of a coverage. Now this stuff right here I noticed has extremely high coverage because I have literally put too much out on a surface by accident. And I know how much you put down. It literally don't have to put much down for it to cover well. This is a printed box right there. You have to pass over a surface 30 to 40 times, which I saw in the demonstration. Someone passed, we already know who, passed over a surface. I counted literally in the video, at least 20 times over a surface. That's a major red flag that something's going wrong with the screen. And you got to pass over a surface that many times. Why we use the prints. Where in the world is, let me go here. Made another batch for myself. Now, when I've seen in the coverage, I don't think it's going to take much to take down a 170-inch screen. I think that's going to be fairly easy to do. I don't think we're going to need much to do it. 6 minutes. shake in there. See? It's black. Gamer black. Can't be gray. If you're sitting there stirring, it's something wrong there. Those are like all kinds of key features that come up. I've seen people make paint. Constant staring. That means whatever's in there is not settling right. And that's what I saw in his mixture. Constant settling, constant stirring. That's why he requested you to stir between every time you apply it, because whatever was in there was separating. That's why. So if it's black inside, it should be black on the screen. I thought we're going to have to figure out exactly how much we do now, because this has extremely high coverage. Where's the rollers? So that little spot is all that was needed. So hold this real quick. And that was still too much paint. Literally, that was too much. See how much paint we have left over in that middle right there? Way too much. We'll work it in. Clean up the excess paint. See how smooth that goes on. It's very easy to do. No crazy up and down, light roll, heavy roll, bull crap. No, you're done. That's it. That's how fast you're supposed to apply surface down. All that over. Man, you've got to be lost your mind. You see the size of my screens in here. There's no way in the world I'm going through that process. And I got to go over top of the screen that many times. 1 coat, 2 coat, 3 coat, 4. None of that nonsense. Up and down. Over here. I just want to count that roller hit multiple times. You got to be kidding me. Smooth. See how smooth that goes on? Smooth. That's how it's supposed to be done. That's how you do a screen paint. See the rolls are black? Everything's black. Not come up gray. Black. You have to know what you're doing when you're making screen paint. You can't be in there just making some dilly-dally nonsense at the end of the day. Remind you, people are paying for this at the end of the day. They're taking the time out to paint this down to their surface. One thing people don't like to do is do things twice, multiple times. They can't stand it. I myself, they can't stand it myself. So that's how fast your screen should go on. Now, if I got a company that comes in, they want to do 20 of these screens in their environment, how fast they're going to be to apply that on? That's what it comes down to. If there's a lot of painstaking instructions, they're not going to touch it. Drying time is supposed to be extremely fast. Leveling system, where they say you have to wait for the paint to level. When it paints the skin like coating, no, you don't have to wait for it to level. Now, if there's something thick like cement or something like that, then there's a leveling system involved because it's very thick, it's dense. On top of that, something that has a thin light coating is going to have 10 times more coverage, which means out of 32 ounces, you should be able to paint a 150-inch screen with no problem. If you're still painting a 120-inch screen and you have a paint that's actually like a water kind of texture, then there's something wrong with that. Anybody pick up on that one? Nope, no one did. Actually, a few people did. That's why we bounce them on forum sites. Because forum sites are people that have been around screen paints, all different kinds of paints, and they'll know exactly, when we drop them over there, exactly what's going on. Like no one even saw in the day when he was painting the screen down, that when he stopped stirring it, the paint separated. It was half water. That's why everyone said, man, there's 16 ounces of paint in there, of water. Yep. They analyze everything over there. That's why a lot of people can't go over there with their products, because, you know, your stuff is going to be under a magnifying glass over there. And they're going to ask you 40,000 questions from here from Sunday, and some people can't answer those questions. And if you go over there with that whole gain range stuff, first they're going to question and ask you, what is it? How do you get the gain? All these questions, what are you going to do? You can't walk out of there. What, you going to pull your channel down? You pull your channel down, now they're going to put your channel on blast. Well, gentlemen, you'll get a chance to paint my screen in when we get to court, because I'm going to have you painted in. My attorney will order you to do it. And the judge will too. But you'll get that opportunity. If you haven't had a chance to play around with that stuff, you go. You're going to be quite shocked the situation you're about to get yourself into by making false statements you're not going to be to back up. For those who don't know, we're taking several people to court, suing them for a lot of money. And some of them possibly maybe receiving some jail time out of it all. There we go. That's our box. See how fast it took when you paint the box? It's dry already. It's dry. Alright, let me see what I want to use for this. I just pulled out my CUNY. A nice little portable screen right here, just made real quick. Just for fun, kicks and giggles. Now keep in mind, when I have people come in here, you know, they want to see us paint the screen in. Let's see how easy and fast it is. As I said, your kids can literally paint that screen if they want to. Got that projector here. Where is the button down on the fire stick? I'm looking for PC. And I got a direct line in here. Let's bring this back some. Way too close. What's the mouse at? See? Excellent results right from the door. And for those who have great paints and days, we do the same thing. You can't read contrast, so forget it. That's the whole thing. I love when they pop and go, oh, we can do the same thing too. You can't read contrast. You can't do it. You're going to operate in fully lit environments. Can't do any of that stuff. You didn't even read correctly. So, call it. See, go TV that fast, that quick, right? Quick and fast. It's the gamer paint. See how high the white levels read? I can build me a nice little screen, roughly, out of these boxes right here, and run it off my 300 lumen CUNY projector in a fully lit environment. Now that screen's already dry. It's done. That quick. Cover over the imprint, which means if you have anything on your wall, any imprints, or whatever you have, it doesn't make a difference. It'll mask over that with no problem whatsoever. The drying time is rapidly fast. You get outstanding results right from the door. That means that he or she is actually painting the screen is going to see excellent results from the door in no time at all. Imagine if I had a wall with this stuff. So I think the gallons are going to sell out pretty fast. Usually people buy those. They gravitate toward those. Paint entire walls with them. See how smooth that is? See how that? No lumps, nothing. Smooth. That's how you make a product. So right now we just turned a cardboard box, United States Postal Service box, into a projection screen for my CUNY 2 projector. OLED 4K demonstrations. Where we get? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. OLED 4K demonstrations. We get Roulette. Roulette. We got Roulette. There we go. When your gray screens can't play, 100% contrast. That fast. That fast. And all the stuff we call here is called a bleed through process. So it's designed to bleed into the surface. So anything it hits, automatic reaction. I can take that little box anywhere I want. Through this entire environment, it'll pull up with no problem whatsoever. Just going back when I max out my size there. Cumi. That's our Cumi 2 projector. I got it for 40 bucks on eBay.
Presentation is mastered in 2000 nits, peak brightness, harnessing the power of LA Vision's dynamic metadata to deliver true-to-life contrast and spectacular detail, from the darkest shadows to the most dazzling highlights.
There you go. Hola. Boom. Just like that. That fast, that quick. So an advertising firm asked us in the day that, how do we apply this? This is what I showed. Easy, fast, quick. No calibrating to the projector, no expensive machines. Fantastic lights off. Fully environment. No problem whatsoever. Can generate at 300 lumens at 24,000 in the ceiling. Doesn't even phase it. Gamer technology, huh? Isn't it cool? So that means I can replace the monitor on my desk with a 300 lumen projector in a cardboard box. And my projector would cost me 40 bucks. And gray screens, at the end of the day, you can't achieve this level because you would have to read a 100% black level in order to pick that up. So how would you read that? Especially in my environment. This is where we're going to get into answering some very interesting questions with companies when we reach out to you. My environment's the perfect environment for a setup. How do we get your gray screen to work in here? Simple question. Can't run from it. I mean, what's the point of running from it? If you can't run from it, if you're selling this product, I'm asking you a simple question as a consumer. How do we get it to work? How do I get a gray screen to read 100% black, which that screen is doing right now? Pick up beautiful colors, the whole thing. I don't want to spend the money for expensive projector. We're not doing that. We're not doing any of that whatsoever. I'm not darkening my environments. We're not doing that either. How do we get it to work? It's not going to work in here. So it's not just one gray screen paint, it's all gray screen paints. All gray projection screens. The gray color period itself. We're not talking about just Fernando at the end of the day because he's not the king of gray screen paints at all, period. There are other companies who make gray screens, just ambient light projection technology. There's all different types of these gray screens. How do we get it to work in here? We can't because it doesn't work. In order for that screen to work, any gray screen, you're going to have to be in a dark environment to do it. Which means now you got to change out your environment. And you can't do that in here. We're in an office. That's not going to work for me. How would we get this to work? It's a more expensive projector, higher contrast. This projector has 10,000 to 1 contrast on it. It's completely useless on a gray screen. This is supposed to be, at that, this product right here from our YouTuber claimed to be the best of the best. It's sold on eBay. How do we get this to work on my screen? And I got a 10,000 lumen projector over here. Sorry, 10,000 contrast projector over here. How do we get it to work? Now see, here's the kicker here. If you can't answer my questions on YouTube when we get to court, how do you answer them? Because in there, you ain't got a choice. You're going to have to answer. How do we get that thing to work? Because what you're advertising in your specification sheet isn't exactly what it claims to do. That's consumer fraud. So how do we get that to work? You said it reads a black level, right? Where's the black level? This is why when I say these things on camera, this is to let you know how it's going to go down in court. I'm going to ask you these questions. My lawyer's going to ask you these questions. The judge is going to ask you these questions. How do we get that screen to work? What are you selling on your channel? What color of gray or shade of dark gray are we picking up bringing a contrast level? Can't give us any of that information. Can't give me that information, and we got a problem on our hands. Because that means now you're selling a product to the consumer that even they're going to have issues with it. 4K Snow Screensaver Cottage. Just give us what we wanted. 4K Snow Screensaver Cottage. Goodness sakes, I'm right in front of you. Your microphones. Those you going to court for making statements that our products came out too dark and are unwatchable? Those are $10 million lawsuits. They carry prison time too. It's a major fraud against my business. So how would that even work? So we can read a contrast, so we can read a white level. You can't read contrast. Can you read color correctly? Let's see if that even works. No, I don't know by thinking that, oh, it's just, no, all gray screens have the same problem. They do. Even if it's ambient light rejection, we challenge them to in court. I don't see how I'm going to pay for something that's ambient light rejection when I'll never use it in a fully lit environment, because it's supposed to work better when the lights are out because the contrast and color doesn't read correctly. Then what am I paying for? There we go. That one. Blue screen. Let's see if we can pick up basic blue. No, can't see it. So basically, this projector is absolutely useless on a gray screen. So guess what? Jimmy 2s are not compatible with gray or white screens. Red screen. Faded, washed out color. Now, if your projector has millions and millions of colors on it, guess what? Some of those colors are dark level colors, like dark brown. Dark brown screensaver. So how are you going to read that if you can't read black to begin with? You know, they skip these colors altogether. They don't mention them. You ever seen a demonstration of a gray screen doing dark colors ever? You don't see it, do you? You stick to lighter colors they hope they can survive better in. But you know, dark colors are in stuff that you watch, right? Movies and sports and gaming, there's dark colors in there. You just skip all that, right? Okay. How we fix the gray screen. This is how we fix the gray screen. Where's my roller at? Where did I put it? Put that roller on. Just had it a few minutes ago. I had something that I put up. Took me up in the day. Just painted something a few minutes ago. Should be sitting on here wrapped up. Nice when you feel wrapped up. Okay. Where is the frick is my roller? Nothing on the floor. Wait, where the paint is, the roller should be at. Definitely. Let's see what's going on with my table here. Nothing there. Nothing there. Interesting. I'm having a really hard time tracking down my paint and my roll. I like the same place. Oh, this has got to be an interesting one where I set this one at. You know, office is only but so big. How would we lose a roller and freaking whatchamacallit? Oh, that's another layer of freaking. I won't find that. There's no roller. Maybe you just have my roller and an entire container of paint on the table. I really want to screen that. Oh, right here. Well, I'm said mine, Professor, I swear. Don't you forget that up there, brother. Alright. We're going to take a little bit of our paint. I can paint that. I got plenty of gray paint. I got gray paint galore. It's not going to go anywhere. I got plenty of it. We'll paint us up a nice little spot right there. Nice little square in there. That's how we fix the gray screen problem. You paint over them. Now, I got to do this demonstration that you saw over and over again. Every time I'm somewhere, I got to do one of these demonstrations because I bet you how easy it is. But I'm paying somebody else to do it. Their job is to come on there. Got a kid, 5 years old, got consent from the family. He's going to come in there and paint the screen in. So easy a kid can paint it, right? Complicated instructions, none of that bull crap. It's the reason why we don't have instructions when it comes to any of our products. You won't see instructions. You know why? Because we paint them in that fast, that quick. You don't need instructions. Look at that robot painting up and down nonsense. Look at all that crap. I don't. Alright. Here, where's my YouTube at? In the background. It's not this. It's something else back there playing. The theme for the Christmas Village is playing in the background. I can hear it. Oh, I might adjust that, fix that for a minute. I'm hearing in the background. I forgot where you at. One thing I hate about having multiple tabs running is trying to figure out where music is coming from. There we go. Let's pause you. Let's go back over here and let's clean this up. There we go. That's better. So how bright the white levels come up. Pause that. I just painted this about a couple minutes ago. This is how you make good product. See that? That's how you make good product. The fake nonsense you jokers do at the end of the day, you don't make good product. I can paint over that screen, roll it up, put it down, roll it up, put it down, roll it up, put it down, nothing. Soak them in water, no problem. Paint them on cardboard boxes in a couple of minutes, excellent results right from the door. They'll use cheap, low-end projectors, and they work excellent. Anything that I say, I back it up. Ambient rejection technology, I can play outside with it. That shows you the level of what we do versus what they do. Trapped in dark environments, high-powered machines, calibrated projectors, inky contrast levels, poorly lit environments, light dodging every chance they can. 4 demonstrations. When you do a demonstration, it's supposed to be a paint, dry, and display demonstration. There never should be editing in between that time, because that means they could have did anything to the screen. Now, one thing I noticed with that, whatever that paint was called, the Series C in that demonstration, we have the actual video. He deleted the video. We have the actual video. You will notice when they're painting the screen down, in between the drying time, they edit it, because it skipped. And then all of a sudden, the screen turned black. But the screen he painted from the same bucket, that's where he realized he made a mistake. He painted on the smaller surface, that screen wasn't black, it was gray. So how did the one on the floor turn black magically after editing, but the one on top of the table didn't? That's why I pulled this video. Now the other one with that goopity-goo nonsense, we claimed that the water was acting as a delivery system, and that was there to basically make sure that the paint didn't evaporate. This is why we bought a second cell phone. I had a buddy of mine going to pick it up and send it down because he canceled our orders already. So we're going to drain the tank, put it in a live 24 stream so you can watch it, and let's see if it evaporates. And that's why that was pulled. Now I got a bigger problem on the back of that, whatever that stuff is, that range gain nonsense. That's why I said, gentlemen, those fake specifications will get you in trouble. And just to prove a point that they'll get you in trouble, they're taking you to court. When our company will challenge your company in a court of law. Now, on YouTube, you can do that whole mumbo jumbo, and there you're in front of a judge, and you're under oath. You lie when you're under oath, and that's a 7-year prison sentence. And I'll know if you're lying. See? That's how your product is supposed to work. Customers, you're not supposed to be trapped in dark environments and high-powered, expensive projectors, none of that bull crap to begin with. No complicated instructions, no headaches. All that stuff they've been feeding you down through time, nonsense. And then telling you at the end of the day you had to spend the money for 4K high-end projectors in order to get your image to come up correctly, but yet you're still stuck with calibrating in poorly lit environments. It doesn't really sound like an even fair play. Now, the same advertising I have here is the same advertising I got big companies that I'm going to be paying a lot of money to basically advertise my technology on this level. And if anyone feels at the end of the day, you know what I'm about to say, that you feel that my demonstrations are false, I'll see you in court. That's all to it. Sign the contract, let's go. Talk is cheap, gentlemen. Sign. So then, I got me a nice, beautiful gaming screen. I'm going to have some fun with this baby today. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Smooth. Look at that. Smooth. That's how you make a screen paint. Smooth. See, Rogers? No imperfections. Smooth. Smooth. Bugs them. Bugs the daylights out of them. They get so upset over these demonstrations. The screen paint is obsolete when our technology touches it. Just one little dab and that's it. That's all it takes. The menus don't read, nothing. OLED demonstrations, 4K. They give me what I wanted. Or they butcher me. Let me see, where's my focus on here? They butchered me. There we go, bring it back a little bit more. Pop you up right there. There we go. OLED demonstrations, 4K. Jeez, fight for those. So Fernando, this is your paint, by the way. All of your paint. Now, for those you know about the Refusal is interesting. The Refusal is a product that we explained to Fernando that was all his paints. Hybrid, Personal Mix, Cinemax, all of them. We claimed that that's all his products. They all did the same thing. We did the testing ourselves. We always give people the opportunity to back themselves. Always. So I gave him the opportunity. I shipped him up a box of his own paint, using his own tutorial video to make it in one upgrade that actually had mica in it, which the paint didn't have it in there. No kind of silver content whatsoever. So with that being said, all he had to do was go in, unbox the paint live, and put it against his products to see if it matched. Him knowing it would match, he knew he couldn't do the demonstration, and therefore he sent it back, and that's how it got the name, the Refusal. Crow's Mixes Refusal. Can't call it a 2.0 because it's nowhere near 2.0. Now, if you had my real product at the end of the day, instead of those fake products you claim that are ours, and it's the reason why you're going to court for all this, because you made some statements you shouldn't have made about our company, right? And that means that you're going to have to back that up in court. So when you sign that document, that means you're able to back it up, right? But you can't back it up, so you already know what's coming from the door. So, if you had my real product in there, this is what would have happened to your paint. But you had products in that weren't ours. You had black paint with our label sitting on top of it. That's what you did. So I warned this guy already. If you take that document as a joke, I guarantee you what will descend on your property or your apartment will be an absolute complete nightmare. The people that I'm going to hire, process servers for the court, are going to make sure that you're going to basically get those documents one way or another. Whether it go through your wife, whether it go through your kids, you're going to get those documents. And I don't care where you run and where you go, they will follow you anywhere you go. I'm even willing to put in a bonus. Who gets you first? And we'll see you in court. Now, you're going to make false accusations about my business and my company. You want to attack my family at the end of the day, then there's consequences at the end of the day. Now, worse upon worse, if you sign the document, you lose $1 million. If you don't sign the document, you lose much more than that. So, choice is yours. Until then, this is what I can do to your product. Or any gray screen of the day, any day of the week. There's a lot missing it, right? So, truthfully, this is what you're getting. Remember the customer screen who washed out in the soccer game? Remember that orangey look to the screen? That's what he was reading. And he had a 4K projector. This projector is far better than mine. And he still couldn't pick up. I'm going to be using this in demonstrations. I got to go to a gray screen paint forum. Show this off over there to them. So, all that talk about contrast. This is going to be a problem to other people and make great products. Mind you, we're going to be charging you in court that you lied in your specifications, that you actually don't read a black level. And if we do this to your screen in there, you're going to have a lot of problems. Now, of course, they want to make it look like we're bullies at the end of the day and we're just attacking their companies. No, you are ripping off your customers. So let me get this straight. When you sell your products to your customers, you're guaranteeing them a 100% black level. Is that what you're saying? Because if you're saying you can't actually do that, then what did you sell your customers? Simple question. We make black technology. We have a right to make that statement. You don't. So by you making that statement, it's the fact that you're trying to take bread off my table at the end of the day by making a false statement about something that you're doing that you can't even do. So I'm willing to challenge you in court for it. Any company has a gray screen. Anyone. And gunmetal too. Because gunmetal claims to be reading black levels and you don't read black levels. You read a better, darker shade of gray, yeah, easy, than a gray screen. But to say you actually read black, no. Now, once I'm long and gone off this earth, and there's going to be other people make black technology, hopefully better than mine, because that would be nice to see. Other people improving on what I've done, that would be nice. Not the fakes I've seen at the end of the day, and the phonies, the rip-off artists that claim to make a black screen that comes out gray. Literally the same color as what I'm looking at right now on the screen. It came up that color. You know who. It's on the blacklist. Check it out. Anyway, that make better products, or even, like I said, doesn't make a difference. At least we would have paved the way to make sure that they're the only ones to be noticed as black screens, and everybody else, no, you're not. Because there's no way in the world you're going to sit there and try to pass off as having the ability to be able to push up better than a black screen. You can't even read contrast to begin with. Well, isn't that fantastic? Painted a screen in no time at all. Beat the crap out of a gray screen by painting a little spot in the middle of it. Do we do any special paint up? No, we just splattered some stuff and rolled in. That's it. That's how fast the reaction on this technology is. Painted over a cardboard box, removed all the print, made it look smooth, easy demonstration. Your kids could paint it in. Painted over a manual screen and pulled it up, put it down, put it up, put it down, put it up. Yeah. Isn't that pretty cool? Yep, so now I've got my projection screen. Little box projection screen. It's mine. I want to watch the movies off of that later on. I'll take that out in the park and watch the movie off of it. Not in the daytime. One daytime time. Technology. They have that capability. Hoo-ah! 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 Ooh, don't fall over on me, baby. Yeah. What do you got me here? Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me? There's a song. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. That was the shot back in the day. I think I had a mohawk around that time. Pretty sure I did. I was into a whole heavy metal phase. This is the screen we just painted in. I'm gonna have a ball with this thing at the end of the day. I'm gonna have the whole chaser system. So yeah, we can code, change anything the freak we want with this technology. And that technology we have behind us, that's gonna be used for movie theaters. This is used for gaming, but it does gaming and all that. That's the same thing it does. But the gaming, if I'm doing gaming, I'm going toward this. So if I'm hardcore gaming, this is what I'm going toward. That screen is more for movies and stuff like that. You can do gaming and stuff over, but this is your high points because the colors are far brighter on this screen. Far, far brighter. Now this will be roughly around November. We're looking at our timeline for this coming out. It's November. And we're going to have available in 32s, 50 ounces, and 1 gallons. All brand new containers coming out too on top of that. Yippee-ki-yay. And yeah. So they're going to come with the chaser system, the LED light chasers, which are freaking cool. Get those for absolutely free. We ship anywhere in the world for free. So the answer to your question, can you paint over a motorized projection screen? Yeah, even a manual. I can roll it up, bring it down, roll it up, bring it down. Now one crack or peel. Are they weatherproof? Oh, we got one over here soaking in water right now. Yeah, they're weatherproof. We specialize in weatherproof screens. That screens at massive 250-inch screens. You don't bring those things inside once they're outside. I even done demonstrations in the snow, which we're going to be doing them again, but this time it's going to be see-through transparent technology outside. So we're going to have this down in the conference room doing some demonstrations off of it.
60 frames per second calibration.
I'll do some packing down there too.
Frames crafted to push the boundaries of your display's potential.
And we just showed you on a gray screen the massive difference of our technology producing a much better picture quality, true black levels, outstanding color. And the gray screen, it doesn't even hold up. White screens are even worse. But the benefit of the white screen is still usable. Because again, like I said, I'd rather paint over a white screen any day than paint over a gray screen. Gray screen's going to cost me more money. Got to cost more money for that gray screen. Because they consider that to be an upgrade. I'm not paying for that. So we have a deadline of one for my gamers. We're looking at roughly November the 20th is our deadline. We're going to bring it out. Got a birthday coming up. Got things to do, people. But anyway, yeah, 29th we'll have it out. Oh, sorry, no, not the 20th. It's my birthday. I'm not doing jack on that day. I am going to be out having some fun. But it'll be on the 20th when we're going to have it available. So, prices? Where's my price. Let's see. The level up, which is the 32 ounce, which is going to be around $272. Paints the screen size up to 150 inches. I'm ready to get a commercial there while I'm doing this. Here we go. Let's come out of here. Well, there we go. We'll play here. All right, so 32 ounces, paint the screen size up to 150 inches. That is $272. The big ounce, which paints a 180-inch screen, that is around $337. And the ultimate, which paints up to a 250-inch screen. That's a big freaking screen, by the way. Actually, it paints more than that. It took 96 ounces for me to paint a screen size of that caliber. I did it 3 times on camera. Yep, but we always just add them to 250. That's around 473. Those plan to go quick because usually people buy out our gallons pretty quick. Because you know why? They paint entire walls, or they basically paint one screen inside and one screen outside. Now that one right there comes with, I think, 2 sets of chasers because it's a pretty big screen. Chasers are fully weatherproof, by the way. Now, we never have customers complain about our prices. Mostly naysayers because they're upset and angry at the end of the day. But you don't test your stuff, man. You don't really do any testing. Your stuff don't batch numbers, nothing. And you guys are fast to put in those non-returnable setups on your shipping. You don't even do exchange, nothing. Can't ship back anything. Nothing. You're stuck with it. If it fails, it doesn't work, you're stuck with it. And then you don't test anything, so I don't even know what the freak I'm getting. Heck, I could be getting house paint at the end of the day. This product is not even available, and it already achieved 2 black versus black demonstrations already. Not even available yet. We're going to be shipping these too. Pre-coated screens are going to be shipped out too. We're going to be doing these. But we're going to do a special gamer coating with that. Because we can't do the same coating we have here. That wouldn't even make any sense. We're going to make a special gamer edition for these right here. Yep. They're portable. And you can take them where you want to go, game, whatever. I'm going to hook mine up to a retro Pi. There's some retro gaming on it. Welcome to the future, people. Future projection screen. And I got 3 people saying to the day, he doesn't even have any instructions next to it. We don't need any instructions. Yeah, you use something to paint in. If your cat had posable thumbs, he could do it himself. Like literally. If your cat had posable thumbs, they could do it themselves. Your dog can do it. Like, this is what you guys are complaining about, really? We done. Easy. Calibration? Calibrate what? We don't calibrate jack over here. We don't need to. Calibration is for projection screens that don't work. That's what calibration is for. Expensive projectors are for screens that don't work. Dark environments are projection screens that don't work. Now, you as a customer, aren't you tired of getting ripped off? You're sitting back right now on a projector that costs far better than mine. That's just better than mine. Better specifications. You're not even pulling up what I'm pulling up at the end of the day. You're pulling up what I showed you on this surface splatter, which is a little bit of our paint. That's what you're reading. Because I talk to them. I hear their complaints. They're very unhappy. They feel they didn't get what they needed out of their machine. You have no idea what your machine is capable of doing. That's why I like using these older 720p models. Because, like I said, at the heyday of these machines, they were shown on white screens. The people who developed them had no idea the capability that they had. Yeah. So it's like we give them a second chance. Now, if you do have a high-end projector you spent a lot of money for it, well, shouldn't you want, you did all the research, right? You went online, you did the research, you checked reviews and all that stuff for it to make sure you're getting the right machine, and then get it home and get half a machine. I was thinking about that. Hansel and Gretel. I'm a sweet eater. I love sweets, man. Man, if I bumped into the witch's house, the first thing I'm going to say, I hope you got homeowner insurance, because your place is both going down. I come out there with a container of milk, your place is going down. Of course, you can't eat the gingerbread, because you know what the gingerbread was, right? They were kids. But you turned into gingerbread and stuck outside. That'd be weird. Anyway. Yeah. She lose that house. She be the one calling the police on me. You know what he did to my house? Like, how the freak did somebody make this machine that quick? She definitely out of the house. So I was laughing about that. We're a family of sweet tooth. We like sugar. But yeah, she be in a lot of trouble. We bump into the house like, oh, snap. I've been craving for some cookies too on top of that. Oh. When you kind of think of it, she didn't even have any powers. She was just a creepy old woman in the woods. Okay, the oven was magic. That was magic. Hansel and Gretel is actually one of my most favorite childhood tales. I like it. It's got a little of everything. It's got sweets in it. You know what I mean? Because I like sugar. It's got a little suspense, a little scariness in it, because the witch in the woods, you know what I mean? It's kind of creepy, but it's kind of interesting. I like watching Hansel and Gretel. It's one of my favorite childhood stories. But when you think about the witch, like, okay, did she fly on a broom? She had a broom there, but I've never seen her fly on a broom. Now, any story she never flew on a broom. And she didn't do any kind of hocus pocus power because he was able to push her into an oven and cook her, so she didn't have that much power. If a kid was able to push her into an oven, she didn't have much power. The only thing she had was an enchanted oven. That's pretty much it. That turned kids into cookies. That's all. So basically, she didn't really have any power. Technically, if you took her to the Witch of the West, she could kick her behind because she was something else. She was brutal. So really, she didn't really have any powers. She just locked him in a cage. That's basically about it. Most of it just based on fear. That's it. We could have taken her easy. No problem whatsoever. Man, that's all you got? You got no powers? You got a broom that flies? Well, at least you got a way to get out of the situation if it gets hot. Look at that right there. That's crazy, ain't it? Man. Especially with a military family, the stuff that they carry in the woods with them. Yeah, even Bigfoot wouldn't even walk up on these guys at the end of the day. Hey, nice fur coat. Where did you get that from? It doesn't look like any animal. That's kind of strange. It's a Yeti. We hunted a Yeti. Now you got people on the channel, oh, you would kill a Yeti. If a Yeti was trying to take my life, yeah, I would take a Yeti out. What the freak would I sit there and go, oh, it's nature, let me go hug it? No. Yeti is going down. Now, if Yeti's out there minding his own business, I'm out there minding my business too. I don't see you, you don't see me. We're going a different direction. That's it. I don't want no pictures of you, nothing. Leave in your own peaceful world at that. And leave it at that. Bygones be bygones. And no pictures for what? Where they bump into a Yeti? I won't take any pictures. Leave it alone. Because then you're going to have a bunch of idiots in the woods doing dumb stuff, trying to hunt this thing down. This is a freaking headache. Leave it the freak alone. Don't even bother with it. No, they don't try to attack me. But what if it's bulletproof? What if it doesn't take the AA-12? Can't take it down. Then we have 50 cal sniper rifle. Money has one of those. She has 3 of them. You ever seen that rifle on Smoking Aces? She has 3 of them. One's actually custom designed to look like Borderlands. It's a custom skin job. It's beautiful. My God. You ever seen those things fire off before? The ground actually moves beneath you. It's literally, they call them tank killers. That's what they are. Bullets are 8 inches. Freaking 8-inch bullets. That's insane. Called tank killers. She has 3 of them. That'll take it down. Oh, but no problem. Definitely take it down. You can take a plane out with that thing. Matter of fact, this is what you did in GTA. GTA 5. You took out a plane. 50 cal sniper rifle. Took out the engine. Hopefully never go to that in someday. But the Witch, Hansel and Gretel, 2025 edition? Oh yeah, definitely. We'd have took that place up quick. Should have came out there like, oh, I got a witch. Yeah, remember Predator? When he uploaded we don't want to wreck the house, we want to eat the house. That's the point, get out of the house. We want to eat the house. But these are the kind of crazy conversations I literally have with my family and my military family, sitting around like, yeah, you know what, Hansel and Gretel, like what would happen if we went hunting one day, or we went fishing, or went camping, and we bumped into that house at the end of the day? So, well, she's just going to lose her property. They're all sweet tooths at the end of the day. She's going to lose that property at the end of the day because I'm eating it. Oh, man, try to hocus pocus stuff and see what happens when you walk out that door. Just put an auto turn out there and a tripwire. That'd be pretty much it. She's gone. Well, wait a minute. If she had this house with all these sweets, how come she didn't have like an overpopulation of bees? You would have bees, especially ants. This is where you overthink stories. This is when you have that one kid that you're trying to read a bedtime story to, and they're just overthinking everything, and you got to go back. I swear, have you ever seen Winnie the Pooh when they tell a story and everybody starts changing the story? Rabbit's trying to tell this story, and they each come up, Tigger and freaking Piglet are freaking menace. They're just coming up with all these freaking theories about why this can't happen and why this is not possible. So as he's telling the story's changing as they're basically telling these wild theories at the end of the day. It is hilarious. I gotta find that. That is the funniest part I've ever seen in Winnie the Pooh, is when they start telling this bedtime story, and they're doing the imagination and all. And you're like, wait a minute, how's that even possible? Like that's also even all these theories. It just keeps changing. The rabbit's getting upset, and the story keeps changing. Oh, listen, it's funny. It is funny. That is a hilarious. Oh, look at that pizza, man! The flame on top of it, and that's the good sauce too. I guarantee it's all made by scratch. Are we sitting here watching this on the screen we just painted in? Are we watching it on this? Yes, we are, people. Yes, we are. Beautiful, brilliant colors. Now we decide what we're going to use downstairs. I think I'm going to go with the $10 Sony. Because you paid $10 for that projector. It's a good one, too. I think I'm going to use the $10. It's the cheapest projector we have right now. It's a $10 Sony. I think we'll use that one. $10, people. Think about that. $10. $10. Look at this. Boom! This gamer paint is like breaking a lot of records for us, man. It's beautiful. I do like the rear projection because we got the rear projector playing around with the halo system in it. I like when I have it on the desk and I point to the ceiling and come down and we're outside. Oh, I love doing those. I'm gonna do some more crazier ones too. Like I'm gonna have to travel around all around Allentown for those. So I have to do one in the office, bring it down, and then have it at another place and bring it down in different locations. Or I might do that 4 locations, pop up in 4 locations with it. Happy with the new coating. This is a phase 2, but we're going to be increasing it by next week. Another application to make it stronger. Let me see. What do I do with that? Sitting right behind me on my back. I'm like, oh, there you go. Right there. That's broke it. Also on the bucket list, going to Canada. Why? Ice hockey. I play ice hockey. One of these days, I'll show you a video of me on my blades. I'm extremely good. Played for 16 years. And I can ice hockey too, fight, all that crazy stuff, and how to use that stick. Oh yeah, like a samurai. But anyway, yeah, I'm definitely going to be going there. There is nothing like blasting on a lake. It's like you're going 100 miles an hour. The hockey stick in the puck while you're just blowing through. And I want to do it. I've always had that opportunity. I had an opportunity a couple of times to go to Canada. And I passed up on it. I'm going to go this time. Just want to skate around the lake out there. Go out there with a couple of friends. And then we'll bring out a portable system, watch a movie, like Frozen, on the snow while drinking hot cocoa. Man, that's a fantastic way, right? Look how beautiful those colors are, man. No calibration at all whatsoever. Look at the future when we're all gone. Because none of us are going to be around for this. Nobody's going to be around for this. Maybe your great-great-great-great-grandkids will probably be experiencing this, if God doesn't come back already. Which is a good thing. But when we reach that era, we're never going to see this ever. You know what's weird? Like every century of generations have perceived what the future is going to be like. But they will never be able to see it. That's a part of our life. That's what I find fascinating about the human race. Look at that right there. It's incredible, isn't it? Honestly, this is not too far-fetched to tell you the truth. It's not too far-fetched. But when are you going to see these machines in homes like this? It's not too far-fetched to tell you the truth. I mean, look at the Atlas. An Atlas is that. That's literally an Atlas right there. And as for that right there, pretty much, that's a hovercraft. Because we got freaking fighter jets that can do that. They can stop in midair, land, pick up, take off. Yeah, it just don't look like that, that's all. If we were to change the structure where it looked like this would be interesting. It doesn't have the wingspan and all that, which is kind of interesting. But those machines right there, we have that now. We literally have that technology now. Look at the way the streets are made. Everything is all computerized. Interesting. You asked in the system, like in the computer, are we in the future? Actually, we're not. Future means we would have space travel. Then we'd be in the future. That would be future. Actual space travel. But the question is, where are you going? That's the big question. Even if you're able to leave the Earth, which we have the Earth, got space stations, where are you going? You have to make the other planets inhabitable, which would be interesting to see it happen. It really would be interesting. If any idea how cold freaking Pluto is, yeah, it'd be all kinds of problems. And mind you, when the sun triggers off, the sun is just far enough away from the Earth, and we get damaged by those solar flares and all that stuff. Talking about what's it called, EMP? Yeah, those solar flares would short out everything on the planet. We're just far enough away from it. We're in a perfect position. But, there's also another possibility. A digital planet. I actually looked it up. Yeah, they're actually considering building a digital planet. So the Atlas machine that they have, that machine that they show doing all that work and stuff back and forth, those machines can literally build that planet. Small micro machines can build those planets and repair them too at will. There is a possibility that we may have a digital planet. Yep. Of course, we'd have to have some kind of booster system, like they do with satellites. Satellites have that. They have a booster system by remote control access, just in case the satellite actually goes off course, you can put it back on. The space station has one too. They can do the same thing with the planet. But you live on a digital planet? I would. I mean, heck, if they did this in the next 10 years or so, say we had that possibly in the next 10 years, yeah, well, I'm an old guy at the end of the day, what I got to lose at the end of the day, you know? I'd like to see what it's like. It'd be pretty cool if the last thing I saw was basically Earth before I actually passed off this Earth. I think that'd be pretty cool. Well, yep, they're designing a digital planet. I actually looked that up. Fascinating. People don't enjoy my theories, but hey, I look all this stuff up. The study junkie at the end of the day. I'm curious, can we do it? We got a space station up there. Why can't we put a digital planet up there? We have machines now, like the Atlas, that can be used to build this thing. That way there's no risk of anyone getting radiation poisoning, none of that stuff. We wouldn't even have that problem. Same machines can build cities under the ocean. Yep. Wouldn't be hard to do. That's the benefits I see out of these machines. They can explore places that we can't go to. Imagine what's going on down under the ocean. They can survive it. There's only so much you could do with a probe. You got a functioning machine that works like a human, that can go in places we can't go to. They can go to far planets where we can't see, can't experience. We can do something with these things. So I kind of see that now. At first I was kind of threatened by this machine, but I kind of see that now. What you could do with it. No, I wouldn't say use them to replace people's jobs, no. But put them in places that we can't go to. The places we can't build. That would be amazing. Yeah, you literally could. You literally could get enough of them. You could literally build. They don't sleep. They don't eat. They don't require any pay whatsoever. There's no hazard pay for them whatsoever. That's pretty much it. You can download all their whatever commands, whatever, straight to the cloud. Upload any machine you want from anywhere. Remote control access, activate them, or whatever. Now, they'd be perfect to work in places at the end of the day that, again, have a high human risk of death, which would be fantastic. I would never weaponize and put them in war. That's the last thing you want to do. You weaponize that thing and put it in the war, you might have some problems with it. What if it gets woke? Now, when I start talking like this, it means I'm already past. I've seen everything I need to see. I'm good. Productive day today. I try to make every day a productive day. Try to learn something new every day. Well, I study a lot of stuff because I like to figure out new things. There's so much stuff in history I have not learned about. So much stuff in the past I don't know about. I like to study warships. All that stuff. So much stuff. I would spend the rest of my life studying. It's kind of weird that when you have those anxieties that trigger off from lung disease, you have to try to control them. If not, they'll control you. I had to find things that would take my mind away from it. So I started studying documentaries. I like documentaries. By the time I got done watching documentaries on the 1950s bricklayer, forgot about what I was having an issue with. It went away. So documentaries were a place for me to go to. And that's how I ended up knowing all this stuff. And I'm addicted to documentaries. I even watched a documentary how to make rope in the medieval days. Building castles, how were kitchens made, when the first bathrooms were made, how are spoons made, all kinds of stuff. Basketballs, all kinds of stuff. How was it made? I love that so much. I gotta get back into documentaries. I miss them. I haven't done them in a while. Other than that, I love our screen here. I love it. So we got a chance to hook this thing up with some of our screen paint. Oh man, this thing is beautiful. You know, this is why I say that, you know, great screen paint makers, you're going to have to upgrade the black technology. But you got to do it right. You can't be doing this fake black paint, screen paint nonsense. You know, you guys want to come out here with these fake black paints and stuff that's not properly tested. The black screen, it has to be tested. It's a very temperamental surface. A lot of things can go wrong if you don't do this right. So, you know, keep it up. So I'm going to sue you at the end of the day. You've got to be able to make these things right if you want to do it. You don't want to follow behind our footsteps. We're the ones who invented black technology. You don't want to follow behind our footsteps. We're the ones that are telling you how it has to be tested. And you want to cut corners at the end of the day. All right, people. I'm happy. Had a productive day. I'm actually not even done yet. I still got to do demonstrations on this thing. So I figured out exactly what projector we have. What time we got? Woo! Got phone over here. Oh, man. 6:17. All right. So 6:17. Screen's dry. About 7 o'clock, we'll be downstairs. Is my charging unit good to go? Oh, wait, let's see if my battery life is up here. Oh, battery life is good. All right, cool. Oakley dokely. I got video demonstrations to shoot later on that screen. This one, I'm going to do another paint down demonstration because I need to put this onto YouTube without me talking in the background all the time. So, yeah, I got stuff I got to basically record. And I got right now, I got to send customers over their tracking numbers too. So, and I think my gamer friend just contacted me. But anyway, with that being said, and I gotta get all this done today because I gotta do videos today because I got a little playtime with my friends tomorrow. So we're gonna do some stuff, go to a restaurant, check out some stuff from the day. All right, hope you enjoyed. Gotta go. Thank you all for your time and God bless.